Good evening, everybody. Hello. I don't know what's happened. I was planning to do this show with Marion tonight, and for some reason she's not turned up, and I can't fathom out what might be going on. So perhaps she hasn't got the link. Hi, everyone. I'm just wondering who's here tonight. How are you all doing? Let me know how you are in the chat. So we're just waiting for Marion to come along. So she left Glastonbury early this morning on a coach up to London, a long journey. And yeah, I just hope she made it to London. I'm not quite sure if she did. And I'm just wondering also if this is live on Facebook, because it doesn't appear to be. So just let me know if we're live, because you're watching me from somewhere. I think there's a delay, some kind of delay happening. So let me know in the chat who's here at the moment. No one's here. How very peculiar. So this is a very, very strange event, because no one's here and Marion hasn't turned up. Ah, okay, Debbie, wonderful. I was beginning to think that something very strange was going on. So, hi, Dawn. Thank you, Jack. Thank you for telling me I'm live on YouTube and Facebook. So now you've solved that problem. Deb is here. Now we've solved that problem. Where on earth is Marion? I'm very, very puzzled because it's not like her not to turn up. So I'm just wondering if she got back to London and something happened to her. Anyway, we are in strange times. So it's been an incredible day. It started sunny, and then we had hailstones and rain and tempest. I put Marion on the bus at 7 o'clock this morning. In the meantime, ... I put Marion on the bus at 7 o'clock in the morning. It looked like a reasonable day. It looked like the sun was going to be shining and it was fine. And then just after I got back, all hell let loose, and with intense rain and everything. So, and then it cleared up again. So in the meantime, whilst we just hang on just a little bit longer, let's just check in. How are you doing? Okay, thank you. What does one have to write on the polling form? It's I do not consent. So, of course, that's mainly for the general election, if they call a general election, because Marion explained that if you don't go and vote at all, your vote's not counted. But if 50% or more people write I do not consent, then the government simply, whoever it is, whether it's Labour or Conservatives or whatever, they can't be voted in. So they have to, I don't know what they have to do, but it's just like breaking down the system. But if it's for your local election, like here in Glastonbury, and we have a really, really nice mayor like Lokabandhu, then invite him in, open the doors to him. So, okay, still no sign of Marion, and okay, replying to Jack Cox. And the second thing is, your hair looks lovely. Are you going to grow it long down to your waist? Hope so. It's so beautiful. Silver crown. Well, thank you. That's nice to keep me going with some nice comments and cheer me up a bit, because actually my hair doesn't seem to grow much longer than that. It used to be longer, but it's just, as you get older, maybe it stops growing. I don't know. Brigitte's hair, my friend Brigitte, it's very long. It seems to keep growing. So I also heard it I also heard to write it on a different piece of paper with no official numbers on the slip. That I can't tell you. I've absolutely no idea about that. So, yes. Where did you hear that from, Dawn? With no numbers on the slip. Where did that come from? Marion's not here, so I'm going to ask you all to contribute a bit more. I've got loads of things that I wanted to share and talk about. Marion and I were talking about it this morning, what we were going to talk about. Dawn says, I dropped a mason jar on my foot, toe bruised and swollen. Any advice on how to help it? Help it heal? Yes, the first thing that comes to mind, is it just bruised or is the skin broken? The first thing is arnica, which is amazing. Do you know arnica, the homeopathic remedy? You can get an arnica cream, you put it on, you can take the arnica pills for the shock. I find it absolutely amazing when I've had back injuries and all sorts of things. Once I slipped down and hit my tailbone going down to the Healing Gardens, and I was in pain for ages until I decided to put arnica on. No broken skin, that's good. Just put the arnica on then, if you have some. It's always handy to have in the house. And arnica 6C or 30C if you have any kind of accident. With regards to the swelling, you could put ice on it, help it to just calm down a bit. Okay, Dawn. So homeopathic arnica you should get in the pharmacy if you've got one, or otherwise you go to Ainsworth or Nelson's that you can find online. So I've used homeopathic medicine for at least the last 40 years for all sorts of things. I try at all costs to avoid anything pharmaceutical. So, thank you. So, what should we do? Marion's not turning up. I hear no messages for her, so I can just start talking about. I'm just looking, just checking my phone. Marion, where are you? You're going to be mortified. I bet she's fallen asleep. Marion's been going through quite intense times, so she was needing to sleep quite a bit. So if she's sleeping, let's leave her. Let's leave her sleeping. So what is it that we want to talk about tonight? So just bear with me. We have been following Andrew Bridgen, and the last I heard, I don't know if any of you've heard about this, but I think there was a proposal for an election date, not an election date, for a debate in time for the excess deaths. Oh, Dawn, you need a wonderful device like the one Juliet has lent me for my swollen toe. Yes, I lent Jack a laser. It's the one I demoed on here a few weeks ago. A laser treatment that treats aha. So we have Marion online calling me right now. Hi Marion, you're on speakerphone and we are on live. Are you there?
And I can join you, but my other phone isn't working. So do you want to send me the link? Telegram.
In Telegram? I've sent it in WhatsApp. You don't want it in WhatsApp?
I can't get to WhatsApp. It's on the other phone and I can't get access to it.
Okay, I'll do that. So bear with me, everybody, whilst I send Marion the link. So what happened to your phone?
I'm outside. I've literally been stuck on the tube for 40 minutes, Juliet. So I'm just sitting in the street near the tube station.
Oh my God, it's one of those cliffhanging events then, isn't it?
Yeah.
So everyone, Marion is stuck at a tube station. So I'm just going to send her the link on Telegram. So bear with me. Drama. But you know, there's so much going on right now that it's hardly surprising. It's like,
well, the public transport in London is like seriously.
Right. I hope you've got enough battery on your phone, not like the other time when we were trying to.
Well, yes, I've got a spare battery with me in case I need it.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get through.
Okay. So I'm just trying to find her on Telegram, everyone. If you don't know about Telegram, it's very good for sending encrypted information. Okay, so hopefully she gets that. Let's go back. Are you still there, everyone? Are you still there? Okay, so Marion's about to come on, and she's been held up. She's been 4 hours, I think she said, on the underground in London after she left here, and she still hasn't managed to get home. That's one hell of a journey if she left at 7 o'clock here this morning. So let's hope she put. Oh, here she is. She's coming on. Okay, she's got the floor. Marion, you've got the floor.
I've got a wet bum. I just sat on a step and sat in a puddle.
Oh my God, I don't believe that. Have you still not got home since I put you on the coach?
Yes. No, I did make it home, and then I had to go out, and I thought, well, let me do the tube so that I get back in time. It didn't work.
So what happened with the tube?
Oh, there was I think it was a suspect parcel or something. So they stopped, they emptied the one in front of us, they emptied it. And then we got stuck at the next station because everybody was fighting to get on the next train. And then we got stuck in the tunnel, and it took 40 minutes to do 3 stops.
Oh my goodness me.
So I actually got off. I'm near Holborn. I just thought I'm just going to get off this tube because I don't trust it'd even make it to King's Cross.
Really?
And I can walk from here. Somebody's about to come out. Yes. So I'm sitting in a rather lovely little side street away from the traffic.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm here. So how's it going? What's happening?
Well, I was like playing for time, waiting for you to turn up. It's like, I'm not going to do this on my own. It's okay if psychologically you've prepared yourself, but
I know.
I didn't prepare myself for doing it on my own, although I've got loads of things that I wanted to talk about because we talked this morning. There's so much going on in the world. It's utterly crazy right at this moment in time, as you know. So,
Yeah.
Marion, I'm just a bit concerned now about you sitting in the cold.
I'm all right. I'm in a little side street. It's very quiet. It's calm. It's not too cold.
Okay, well, that's dedication for you because I know you hate the cold and you've been shivering all week here. In my nice cozy house, and now you're sitting on the side street in front.
It's very pretty where I am. I don't know if you can see. I think it's a Brazilian embassy, a Brazilian something going on here. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So do you know? I've been listening to a lot of stuff today on my travels, and this bridge thing is so suspect, isn't it? Have you mentioned it yet?
I haven't mentioned anything yet, but I did write down a lot of stuff and do quite a bit of research for it. So do you want to talk about that first, Raw? Because the other thing is we've got the video to share, and I can't imagine you sitting on a side street for 10 minutes.
No, you can do the video, and then I'll when I'm getting cold.
Okay, well, let's talk. Tell us about it's the Maryland Bridge, isn't it?
Yeah, Maryland in Baltimore, which is near Washington, and it's on a river that is there's a port basically, and it's one of the biggest ports in that part of the States. And it's internationally really just like a massive place, if you like, for business and for boats and things.
Yeah.
And the story was that obviously what are they called? Not a tanker.
It's a great big tanker. It's like that evergreen tanker.
Anyway, those huge boats, the cargo boats. One of those hit. There were only 2 struts that were main legs into the water of this bridge, and then it was like a suspension bridge, and it hit one of the 2 struts, and the whole bridge collapsed instantly. Well, one of the things that this bridge had was it had safety poles around each of the 2 struts. So there are 4 or 6 or 8, I'm not sure. Anyway, there were safety posts to basically so that anything that was heading for the strut, the leg of the structure, would hit one of these safety gates before it hit any of the structure.
Yeah.
But this huge tanker turned at the precise angle, at the precise position to avoid the safety struts and take out the leg of the bridge.
Yeah, and not only
There were
that.
no tugs. There were no tugs. There was apparently there was a shutdown of energy on the boat just before it turned. And as the energy and the lights came back on, that was when the boat turned.
Yeah. But what happened also is that the tanker was leaving the harbour to go out to sea.
Yeah.
You can see that there's all the, it's been documented, and that it's on this course to go out to sea, and then it does this big U-turn, and it comes round and heads towards the bridge.
Yeah.
And as you said, just at that moment, there's a power outage on the tanker.
Yeah.
And then there's black smoke coming out of it. And the next thing is it crashes it, and then it drops its anchor, apparently. And
Right.
just as it drops its anchor, then it smashes into the pylon. But
Oh.
not only that, in the video footage, there seem to be 2 explosions on the bridge as well.
Yeah, I'd heard mention of some explosion-looking things, but I've not really heard any more. The other thing, I think it was you that mentioned it to me. There's some link to Ukraine.
Absolutely.
What's that?
The pilot on the tanker is a Ukrainian pilot. You know, the guy, the captain driving it is Ukrainian.
Wow.
And apparently, at the same time, in Telegram, in the Ukrainian on the Ukrainian Telegram channels, there's been messages saying, I did write down some of the messages that, about you're going to pay. It's about Ukrainian aid. You've stopped.
Oh, because they've not given permission for the last set of requests for money, have they?
That's right. That what the messages are. I said, great work and expect more unless we get the aid package.
Okay, now. So who received that message? Do we know?
Well, it's just, I don't know who received it, but the guy on Redacted was talking about it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just plugging you into my battery. Hang on a second.
Plugging me into your battery. Thank you, Mary.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
So yes, General Flynn. I don't know if you know about General Flynn. Well, he put out that this is a Black Swan event. Definitely a Black Swan event, like the Twin Towers and so on, that comes out of nowhere, like the 2008 economic crash that came out of nowhere and like takes everybody's breath away. It's like, how the hell did that happen? Because he said there's no way that a tanker should ever, or any other boat ever have a crash like this, because there's so many safety procedures.
Yes.
Everything's totally controlled, and the only way that it could possibly have happened if somebody had hacked into the technology of the tanker, the steering technology and so on, and overruled it.
Right. It's a very, very delicate operation. Whoever manoeuvred that tanker knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
Because it was such a precision movement and position needed to avoid those safety struts. That's the bit that I was just like, well, if there's safety struts everywhere, there's no tug, there was no other things, protection going on.
No, but the other thing is that the tanker did give out a Mayday signal just as it was about to crash, which gave them time to stop any more traffic going onto the bridge.
Oh, really? Oh, that's good.
So I don't know for certain, but I think some cars went in. I don't know.
Well, yeah, there were definitely cars that went in, but it's really good if they did manage to stop some of them, because that was the first thing that I was listening to somebody describing what was happening, and I could kind of, from what I could see it on the screen, not very much, but I saw the collapse because it was such a big physical collapse. and didn't realize what it was. And the person I was listening to was talking about, and they were just, you know, at that time they could see cars
Yeah.
falling to bits. It was just nightmarish, isn't it? It really, it's so sends, every time I think about it, it sends shivers up my spine.
Well, that's it. That's just like the Twin Towers, isn't it? Another
Yeah.
event to absolutely traumatize people.
Yeah.
To think about that happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. So it's and again, I mean, they keep talking about something big happening on the 8th, don't they? It's like,
Well,
fucking hell, if this is like the prelude, the prologue, like what
they
the
have,
hell is going to happen on the 8th?
yeah, they have been talking about a Black Swan. Prepare, there's going to be a Black Swan event, and it's like everything is absolutely ramping up, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like we're trying to bring more and more stuff to the light. There's massive amounts of disclosure happening, and people really standing up. And then there's a huge. It's like they're in desperation. They're just doing these really huge.
Yeah, it's like they're prepared to just kill everything rather than lose, aren't they?
Yeah, but we don't actually know. We don't know who set that up. You know, we don't know. That's the thing. That's what
The thing about the eclipse, they're setting up for a blackout, aren't they? Because what they're saying is when the eclipse is happening, it interferes with electrons, which interferes with GPS and other wireless technologies, because they rely on the electron activities and standard electron activity. And because an eclipse will affect those electrons, there will be an impact on the GPS systems and other wireless things.
Well, I don't know.
I suspect that they're, you know, this whole 3 days of darkness, 3 weeks of darkness, 3 years of whatever the darkness is that they've been talking about for years and years and years. I wonder if this may be a manifestation of that.
I don't know
what's going to happen on the 8th, because they can use this electron thing as another excuse.
I don't know, but building up, wasn't it 2001, the millennium, when we passed into 2000? Wasn't there going to be a big, you know, all the computers were going to?
Oh God, yeah. Well, that was funny because I was working in IT, and actually, I'm meeting with some friends who I was working with on the day of 9/11, and I was
Not 9/11. Let's go back further in time, 2000. Do you remember the big prediction when we entered 2000? Do you remember that?
Oh yes. So the Y2K bug. So the Y2K bug, that was they were saying that aeroplanes would fall out of the sky. So I was testing for this. It was great. I spent 10 years doing fuck all and getting loads of money, because we were supposed to test that everything would work in the year 2000. And if you're technical, you know it will, because the computer doesn't know a date. It's just numbers. And it doesn't give a shit. It goes from 1999 to 2000. It's just numbers. And computers can cope with numbers. They love numbers. And we all knew that there was no problem. So I actually spent 10 years earning loads of money doing system testing for the Y2K book that never ever existed. So
Yes.
that was rather good. But then I went to Timbuktu for the New Year's Eve of 1999, 2000, because I said, well, maybe if there is going to be an event where aeroplanes fall from the sky, I'm going to go somewhere where there won't be any aeroplanes. So I went to Timbuktu.
You're nuts. You're nuts, Marion.
It was great.
Yeah. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Because I don't know if everybody knows about this 8th of April, the 8th of April eclipse. Yeah, so it's meant to be a very significant event, a huge portal opening up that's going to change everything for humanity, isn't it?
Well, I don't know about any of that, but what we do know is that the shadow falls over a town called, is it Nineveh?
Well, not just a town.
How many of them?
5 towns.
Is it 5? Isn't it more? It's more than, isn't it 7 or something?
Oh, I don't know, but
I think it was 5 Salems and 7 Ninevehs. I've got a feel. I might be wrong, but
so the previous eclipse path went over all the Salems, and this time it's going over all the Ninevehs. So
yeah,
you know, that's crazy. How could all those towns be in a straight line and an eclipse?
But this is where tinfoil hat comes out and I talk about the moon. The moon is a ship. It's not a planet. It's not a sat. It's actually because it's metal. We've heard someone said when they landed on the moon, didn't they? It pinged
That's
like
what David
So
Icke
if
talks about.
well, and because the moon is what creates the eclipses, so they just steer the moon to make sure it does whatever these things, or it was pre-programmed to take this orbit so that it would do these eclipses on these dates in these positions. And it just makes my tinfoil hat wearing self think, this is definitely what's going on.
Oh, I
This
never
has all
knew.
been meticulously planned for millennia.
I absolutely didn't get that at all.
Did you not hear that?
No, I heard what you said. I never heard that. I mean, I've heard about the moon being like a hollow
A craft.
that had been towed into position, but I didn't realize the bit about it causing the eclipses.
Yeah. Yeah, because when it's on a full moon is when we get a lunar eclipse, when the moon is in the shadow of the earth,
Yeah.
sun, and on a new moon you get a solar eclipse where the sun goes behind the moon and the moon is between the earth and the sun, and the shadow of the moon is what creates a solar eclipse, and it's the shadow of the sun that creates the lunar eclipse.
Okay, so what do you think we should do then? Because there are people saying, okay, this portends an absolutely apocalyptic, disastrous thing, and are the deep state going to...
I think we just have to know that everything's going to be okay, because we've got no idea what's going to happen. And for those of you who think being prepared is a good idea, then just make sure you've got, I don't know, enough milk, enough milk and eggs if you're me.
Tea bags.
Tea bags, there you go. Should we start?
And
so put in the comments. This is great. Put in the comments what would you really love to have on your list for your preparedness. Let's have a group preparedness list so that we can all support each other. So I definitely need eggs. I definitely need milk.
No, I just realised today if you're stockpiling loads of cans for an emergency, if you don't have a spare tin opener, you're screwed.
I've got quite a few actually. Yeah, I can post you one.
Okay. So anyway, Sacha Stone did a big broadcast on the 8th of April eclipse, and he said it's possibly the biggest portal in 5,000 years, portending a huge shift for humanity, and it's an amazing opportunity. And he's arranging for this event at that place where you've been in Mexico, which they call the Belly...
Durango. It's near Durango. It's north of Mexico City. It's up in the mountains. It's high mountains. And near Durango, there's a mountain top, and they call it the umbilicus, is what they call it in Mexico. And when you look at a satellite image of it, so you look top down, it looks like a belly with a belly button on it, and the top of the mountain looks like is like this belly button. And I think this is where Sacha's team are going to be. He's going with a load of wisdom keepers, elders, and indigenous leaders, isn't he?
He's got a Maori chief, well, not a chief, but lots of different. Oh God, I'm not very articulate tonight. The elders of all the different.
Yeah, all the elders and the leaders, the indigenous leaders.
The indigenous leaders from around the world, yes. So I did post that on Facebook last night. It's on the Lazarus, but it's on Twitter, it's on his Facebook page, and so on. It's very interesting.
Oh, is it a Wednesday? Oh, and is it near 6 o'clock? The 8th of April.
Oh,
Wednesday.
Oh, I don't know. We could
Will
do
we
that.
be online?
Anyway, let's get distracted. We could.
No, because what I was going to say was, it's, what is it? 4 minutes 23 seconds.
4 minutes 23 seconds.
0.1 seconds. And we need to be meditating and looking at our inner sun and not the external world. So we need to do a really consciously inner focused meditation. We need to coordinate it, don't we? So we'll have to find out what time Sacha's going to start. And we just do it for 5 minutes so we don't underrun. But yeah, I think if we could organise a little 5-minute group meditation at the same time as it's going on, that would be quite a nice thing to do, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and you have to hum.
Oh,
So
nice. Yes, of course. I'd
he
forgotten
had
about the
this
humming.
this guy called Alex Ling was on his show, and apparently he was talking in
Well,
Glastonbury.
this is the Om, isn't it? This is the pranava, the Om, the sacred sound. And that's
Hmm.
what the humming is a representation of. It brings the same vibration as Om.
Yeah. So
Beautiful.
he's trying to get everybody around the world to be humming this humming sound precisely at the moment he's at the belly button of the world and the eclipse is going over on this
Yeah.
particular point. And they're organising a big thing in Glastonbury as well, apparently. So that's been advertised, this event. So big opportunity, very cosmic in Glastonbury on that at that time. So
Yeah.
anyway, so how are you doing on that cold street, Marion? Are you so excited now that you've forgotten you're sitting
I'm
with
all right. I'm just noticing though my battery's like going down very, very quickly. So
yeah.
if I do disappear, it's because my battery's died, and I've actually got I've got my spare plugged in. Look, you
Oh
see?
my God. Okay, so
And it's still dying.
okay, still dying. So there are a few other things. If Marion goes, I've got a video to share. Very important video to share. Kate Middleton. Should we talk about the?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No ring, no mic, no movement in the background, and apparently the stripes on her jumper kept merging with the bench. Somebody said.
So the AI generated video.
Google's AI guesser estimated 98% that it was an AI video.
So she's put out so many different photographs and things that have been photoshopped. Oh my God, I'm
I love
tongue
that.
tied on this. They've been photoshopped, okay? So the
Yeah.
question is, why is the royal family putting out all this false stuff, and why are they saying she's absolutely well off after the operation, and then showed her in the farmers market absolutely well, and the next thing is they show a video of her, which
Yeah.
is AI generated,
Yeah.
saying that she's just had terrible cancer diagnosis and surgery and chemotherapy. I mean, it's all royal misinformation, isn't it? Or somebody's lying, the media's lying. Why are they doing that? Why are they lying to people?
I
You know,
know.
this is meant to be the head of state. Um, Everyone's lying. It's like wherever you look, lies, 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 lies. There's nothing that
And
we.
I know. And who's still watching the news? Who still believe in this? I'd like to know. It just, yeah, but I'm dumbfounded. Who watches? Why do the news still have an audience?
I don't know.
Apparently there are no white broadcasters on the news anymore. Did you know that? Racist.
Be careful what you say. You know, the thought police are watching.
I am racist. I love the human race.
Okay. So there's all that intrigue going on about the royal family. There's Sean Diddy, somebody.
No, he's disappeared to Antigua because apparently you can't get extradited from Antigua.
He didn't get on the plane. He wasn't on the plane, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
Gone missing. And there's some connection with Harry. What's going on with him and Harry?
Well, the connection with Harry was that when they did a grab. So this was a human trafficking raid on this rapper Diddy somebody,
Yeah.
Sean Diddy somebody, and he's got a very very rich home in Miami and one in Los Angeles, and he's got a private jet. And they had armored vehicles and boats in Miami pull up, and they raided the two houses simultaneously with helicopters going over the top, and handcuffed his children, took him out. And on Redacted, they were saying about they couldn't believe, maybe he's been responsible for something, but he's a little pawn in the game. And,
Yes.
they're throwing something at him to take and then he'll get away with it or something, to take the eyes off.
Take all the flack. Absolutely.
That the deep state are the ones, it's the Clintons, the Obamas, and so on. And
He's just another prawn or puppet or pawn or whatever you want to call him.
yeah. So some of the information that they grabbed from him apparently was about some party that they were years ago. They had some kind of orgiastic party, and Prince Harry was seen attending one of these. Apparently, apparently, and there was
allegedly, we have to say, don't we? That stops us being allegedly.
Allegedly, but that pulls more flack on the royal family as well, doesn't it? So.
Yeah.
Sean Diddy Combs, iconic rapper. Yeah. That's who he is.
P Diddy. Yeah. P Diddy, they used to call him.
Who Diddy? Diddy what?
P Diddy.
P Diddy. I couldn't even figure out whether it's a male or female. I've never heard of him. Hands up if you've heard of P Diddy, Sean.
I have. I've danced to many of his tunes, I have to admit.
You've listened to them?
Well, it's just the sort of stuff that would be DJs would play and I would dance because I like dancing to music. And some of the music that he used to produce was actually like not the lyrics, but the rhythms and stuff were really nice. When I used to go out dancing a lot, I was never listening to the lyrics.
You weren't listening to them?
No, but I know he was definitely a big player in some. I'm sure I could probably sing some of the tunes that he created from my disco days.
I never did any of that stuff. I've had a really dull life.
Oh God, I was such a disco queen, disco darling. I loved a disco. I used to go in saris and all sorts of things and walk around flapping saris in people's faces. I loved it.
You discoed in a sari?
Yes, disco sari.
Anyway, so there's a lot happening, isn't there? That's just a little bit. So there was a post on X from SGAnon. He said, I haven't followed all these things, but in this week, dead Boeing whistleblower.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that was about. Do you know what?
So a guy that was talking about how Boeing have reduced the quality control, and in fact they've ended up sacking the whole department of quality controllers, and now all the aeroplanes are falling apart, and the guy got shot.
What, because he whistleblowed that?
Yes.
Whistleblew it, yeah.
Yes.
Diddy sex trafficking, we've talked about that. The Baltimore Bridge collapsing, the terrorist attack in the Moscow Opera House.
It's got CIA written all over it.
Yeah.
Oh God, what did I hear today? With Salty Cracker, my favourite. He said that some of the Russians had caught some of the people who'd done this bombings and shootings, and one of them was having his testicles electrocuted.
What?
And they were filming it. I know that's really awful to laugh at, but I just made me laugh out loud.
Well, that's horrible. That's awful. So
he'd shot a load of people, so he got his testicles electrocuted.
What's that noise?
Clumpy shoes walking past.
Okay. So then the royal family drama, we've talked about that. It's like there's 4 of the royal family apparently all with cancer now after being...
Apparently, allegedly
after being
jabbed. Allegedly being jabbed.
And they're all derelict of duty, the whole lot of them.
I think there's a possibility that this is to just normalise it, really, isn't there, as well, that it might not even be true, and they're just using it as a way to say to it, oh, well, yeah, everybody's getting it, even the royals are getting it now. Just normalises it.
Maybe, because there's all the turbo cancers and things.
Yeah.
So, situation in Haiti. What's going on in Haiti?
Oh, my goodness. Well, the Dominican Republic are building a wall. They're doing it more successfully than Biden. But Haiti's, apparently there was a guy who's a cannibal who's now he's in charge, he's taken over, I don't know much about it. But yeah, Haiti has completely just gone doolally, absolute and violent and horrible. And yeah, that poor country has just been just shagged from every fucking angle by everybody. It's horrible what they've done to that poor country.
Including Oxfam and the Clintons. And
yeah. And it's very dark. It's got a very, very dark energy. Yeah. It's part of it's a gateway, if you like, for the trafficking. It's a huge gateway for trafficking.
The same as Ukraine and Israel. Yeah. So aeroplanes having issues, we talked about that, and the illegal immigration, open borders in America. And do you know that they now have started a sponsorship program? So Biden has organised this. You can sponsor an illegal immigrant and bring them in.
My God. Well, also, the illegal immigrants are making videos to show each other how to take up residence and squat a house legally and get squatters' rights so that they cannot be removed from their houses. And there's a load of vigilante clubs that are all starting up in the States that they're called "We'll Get Your Squatters Out for You," because all these illegal immigrants, all they do is they get a false lease document, they contact the water board or the electricity people, and they set a contract up in their name at the address that they've squatted, and they make a small payment, and that gives them legal entitlement to the property.
That's
and all this legal entitlement stuff was set up when Biden first got in.
That's
so
crazy.
They changed all the squatters' rights when he first got in, and now the illegals are coming in and doing the squatting.
So the
and
point
they're making TikTok videos to show each other how to do it.
Okay, the point is these aren't all random events. That we're in a war. There's a battle going on.
Yes.
Isn't there?
The 5D World War III.
Yeah. So Estionon says, hold your conclusions, patriots. Breathe.
Yeah.
Watch. Think about what you're seeing.
Just watch it unfold. Yes. The more we draw conclusions make us stop questioning. When you're in conclusion, another question, that's the follow the science, isn't it? That's that whole thing. It stops you from questioning when you draw conclusions.
Yeah.
It stops you being open to other possibilities when you draw a conclusion.
Yeah. So it says cool heads always prevail in wartime. So we have to keep a cool head. So right, there was a massive a big video on Twitter. I might show it, or I might put the link separately. I don't know, if I share it, whether that's a good idea or not. But just to say that it's lots of. Oh, Marion's gone. She must have phased out. She must have suddenly. I look down and I look up and she's not here. Okay, so that's good that she's gone. Maybe not good. I hope she finds a cup of tea somewhere. So just like. How you doing, folks? Anybody still there? Okay. You're all still there, hopefully. So what I think I will do at this point in time then is to actually show this video, if I can. I will set it up and so first of all, I'll just show you this because just to show a little bit of positive stuff. So that's the farmers' protest in London. A bit noisy, all that. So that's great. That's a very positive thing. There's lots of positive things happening. And the other positive thing is following the Andrew Bridgen story, that maybe there is a debate. Scroll down a bit, Juliet. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Jack. Well, I'm finding it very hard to... It's not scrolling. It's not scrolling down. What is there to see? It's not showing me anything else on here, Jack, so I don't understand why that is. So can you tell me, Jack, what I need to scroll down for? I don't know why it's not showing me. So anyway, I will just share the screen for this other video, Truth, Justice, Safe and Effective. Share. So very interesting that they've actually, they've got that out. things are certainly ramping up. We're doing very well at just like bringing things to light. We have to keep on, not give up, stay positive, keep supporting ourselves in having a good state of being, good energy. So Jack, thanks for telling me about scroll down on the video. I didn't realize I wasn't showing you the farmers protesting in London. That's massive. It's going to draw loads more people, I think, to carry on that protest. So Dawn says, it makes me so sad that so many people I know were coerced. Yeah, I'm really sad. It's horrible. And they're those people, I know a lot of people now that have got family members that have died or have got terrible cancer or something. And then it's like, it's a complete, mind screws you up psychologically, that whole thing. It's a lot of grief that we have to deal with. Anyway, we're coming up to the hour. Where are we? 7 o'clock. Okay. Does anybody want to just share now, what's important for you at this moment in time, how to go forward, how you're coping with life, given the intensity of what's going on and all the horrors that seem to be unrolling, and also, like, are you seeing that there's a lot of good things happening? And if so, what are they? What are you finding that supports you? I know I put this question every week. What supports you at this time in your life? So what supports me is, after the storm today, after all the intense rain, and then suddenly the sun came out and the winds dropped, and I made myself a cup of tea. Just before the show, I made myself a cup of tea and went outside and sat, soaked up the sunshine. And it was like, oh my God, I'm so glad. I'm so grateful for this moment, for this peace, listening to the birds. Just that moment of stillness, just being able to tune in for a moment. So, Debbie says, replying to Jack Cox, that went very quickly. Thank you for a very informative show, Juliet and Marion, and look forward to next week. So that's great. I'm glad that despite our, I was going to say despite our chaos, but actually, it was amazing that Marion showed up like that she didn't know the tubes were going to hold her up like that. Jack says, I just want to thank you for another thought-provoking show. Thank you, Jack. That's really, really good for you to say that. So anyone else want to share anything? Can you please share this video forward as much as possible? We do post it on lots of channels. If it vanishes from YouTube, it's also on Rumble, it's on BitChute, it's on Telegram. So yeah, do share it, because the wider, the more people that can see it, the more we can be proactive in changing what's going on, because we have to stop what's going on. We have to build a new reality, don't we? We have to, and maybe, who knows, maybe that 8th of April eclipse is really, really important for us. So I will post what's happening in Glastonbury for 8th of April. So you can go along and participate, or maybe if it's on a Wednesday, which it might be, we might do something here as well. Okay, lots of love to you all. Be well, be blessed, be happy, stay in your hearts, and remember that love always wins the day. Okay, bye for now. Bye.